This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream... Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video on my own personal YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today for this video. We're coming towards the end now of July 2025. Where has the time gone this year? Who knows? But one thing is for certain, it is time for another review of the 2025 classics. We're going to take a look at only 3 races in this video because the 2 races from Queensland that were put back a week, the Queensland Oaks and the Queensland Derby, have kind of thrown us all out of kilter. With there being only 2 3-year-old German Group 1s in through the season, we never try and put them in the same video to pay respect to the German classic process. It does deserve to be in 2 videos. So normally that is quite easy to do. But with those 2 races in Queensland being put back a week due to the weather in May, the knock-on effect of that is that they had to be included in a video where they would have been included in an earlier video. And it has thrown us all out of kilter. As a consequence, there are only 3 classics we're going to take a look at in this video to get us up to date. They are as following. Firstly, we're going to start the video by taking a look at the Irish Derby, which featured 2 Classic Watch 25 horses, Green Impact and Serious Contender. We're then going to take the first look at Germany in the 2025 classic process by taking a look at the Group 1 German Derby, which was held at Hamburg in the middle of July, and that race features 1 Classic Watch 25 possible. In fact, it is the only German-based horse on the site so far, and that horse is Lazio. We're then going to end the video by returning to Ireland and taking a look at the second middle distance classic held at the Curragh in June. We're going to switch to the 3-year-old fillies and take a look at the Irish Oaks. And that race only featured 1 Classic Watch 25 possible, the UK Epsom hero, Mini Hawk. So without further ado, I think now we've finished with the introduction, we can start this video now. And we're going to go back right to the end of June. I think this race was taking place on the 29th of June, I think. We're going to head to the Curragh for the first race of the video, and we're going to take a look at the 2025 Irish Derby, which featured on the day the first 3 home in the UK Derby at Epsom. People will remember that none of those were Classic Watch 25 horses, so we decided before the race to try another 2 Irish contenders ahead of the Irish Derby, Serious Contender and Green Impact. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the race. We're going to take a look at all these 3 races. Then we're going to take a look at the result and then how the Classic Watch 25 horses performed on the day. And then we will end the video. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at the 2025 Irish Derby, a race that was held at the Curragh. We will watch the race and then we will have a look and see what we think.
10 runners lined up. They're off in the Dubai Duty-Free Irish Derby of 2025 over 1.5 miles and pushing the pace. Our Serious Contender and Thrice, attended by Sir Dinner Dan, right with them. At the end of a furlong and a half is Lamburn, who's followed by Tennessee Stud and Lazy Griff, and Green Impact next. They're followed by Pride of Adders as they race directly across from the stands. Pride of Adders being followed by the Grey Puppet Master, and at the back is Shackleton. As Lamburn has picked it up on the outside of Sir Dinner Dan, being followed by Tennessee Stud. Shuffled back on the inside, Serious Contender in the white cap, followed by Green Impact. Thrice has lost ground, and they're followed by Lazy Griff. and Puppet Master and Pride of Addis and Shackleton, well stacked up, racing towards the far point of the track with just over 7 furlongs to go. Lamburn and Ryan Moore on the outside of Sir Dinadan, and Richard Kingscote being followed uphill by Tennessee Stud and Dylan Brown McMonigal. On the inside, a serious contender and Gavin Ryan. That quartet tracked by Green Impact and Shane Foley. After them is Thrice and Declan McDonough. Lazy Griff next, William Buick, and on the inside is Puppet Master and Wayne Lorden as they pass halfway. Shackleton under Ronan Whelan, last but one, and knocked back to the end as Pride of Addis and Russell Ryan. Passing the 5, they're on the downhill, and it's Sir Dinadan just edging it from Lamburn, building up a 2.5 lead over Serious Contender, nudged along on the inside of Tennessee Stud as they pass the 4. Thrice next with Green Impact, and then Puppet Master, Lazy Griff, Pride of Addis and Shackleton as they're racing round the home turn. Nothing between Sir Dinadan and Lamburn, ridden along, one out from the rail, being followed by Serious Contender, who runs round them as they straighten. 2.5 furlongs to go. Tennessee Stud relegated to 4th, and then Thrice, Puppet Master, Green Impact, Pride of Addis, Shackleton and Lazy Griff racing inside the final furlong and a half, and Lamburn wrestles back a slender advantage from on the inside. Sir Dinadan, a big race by Serious Contender on the outside, out in front of the remainder, and Lamburn is digging down deep on the inside. Lamburn from Serious Contender. Lamburn becomes a dual derby winner of the Dubai Duty Free Irish from Serious Contender. What a run by that one. Flying home on the outside was Lazy Griff.
Well, well, well. What an incredible race that was. The 2025 Irish Derby. It looked a weak renewal on paper, but to be fair to the race, it delivered a fantastic contest on the day. And the Classic Watch 25 horse has nearly railed in the UK winner, hasn't it? What a magnificent performance. We're going to take a look now at the race result. Fair play to the UK Derby winner, Lambourne, who has come and won the Irish Derby as well to complete the Irish double. Irish Derby and UK Derby double. Lambourne, the 8-13 favourite on the day, sired by Australia, out of a dam called Gossamer Wings, who herself was out of a dam, who was out of a sire called Scat Daddy. Lambourne, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden on the day by Ryan Moore, managed to win the race by 3/4 of a length, running to a racing post rating of 120. Second place on the day, Classic Watch 25 Hero, Serious Contender, odds of 28-1 on the day. The Newman horse again providing such incredible value in this race, ignoring the obvious and nearly coming back with a 28-1 classic winner. Serious Contender on the day, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Gavin Ryan. Another one sired by Wootton Bassett. What a season that stallion is having. Out of a dam called Lugana Quilla, who herself is sired by Galileo. Serious Contender going from Royal Ascot Handicap to classic placed horse on his next start, running to a racing post rating of 117. In third place on the day was the UK Derby runner-up, the Charlie Johnston trained Lazy Griff, ridden on the day by William Buick, sired by Protectionist, German-based stallion out of a Danish-based mare called Linarda, who herself was sired by Rock of Gibraltar. And Lazy Griff ran to a racing post rating of 113, the dual classic horse. We're going to try and find the other UK, the Classic Watch 25 horse was back in 6th place. Obviously, sad, a disappointing performance there for horse. Couldn't beat its pacemaker home on the day. Green Impact finished 6th, beaten 3 3/4 lengths on the day, trained by Mrs. John Harrington, Jessica Harrington, and ridden by Shane Foley, sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Emerald Green, who herself was sired by Galileo. The horse on the day, Green Impact, running to a racing post rating of 112 and in only finishing 6th. What a terrific race. The UK Derby winner just holding on. Let's take a look at the two Classic Watch horses. They haven't run since. Serious Contender, running 103 to finish second in a Royal Ascot handicap, has nearly improved a stone to 117 in finishing runner-up in a Classic. Again, a brilliantly identified horse by me. You know, there's credit where credit is due. I have done very well to identify this horse from handicaps to Classics, and people who have faith in me have nearly been rewarded with a terrific run in the Irish Derby. Let's see what entries the horse has got. The horse has entered in the Great Voltager Stakes on the 20th of August, which is a 5-to-1 shot. And the horse is also entered in the Irish St. Leger. On the 14th of September, no entry at the moment in the UK St. Leger. I do note. But yeah, it could have a second Classic later on in the season out of Serious Contender. Green Impact, is one that has run. Green Impact finished 4th, beaten 5 1/4 lengths by Royal Champion in the Group 2 York Stakes recently. Last weekend, dropped down to 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs again. The horse couldn't really figure in the race, running to a Racing Post rating of 110. His best one is still the 114 he gained when winning the listed race against his elders, the Glencairn Stakes at Leopardstown before the Irish Derby. Source is a Group 2 winner, Group 2 and a listed winner, but has fallen short now in 2 Group 1 races. So, sadly, this season, unfortunately. But we gave Lambourne a good run for his money in the Irish Derby there, and I think Serious Contender could be just that if they up him up another 2 furlongs in the in a St. Leger of some sort. If people even look at that race, people could be forgiven for being surprised that he never went past the winner on the day. But Ballydoyle don't get where they are through losing big races to second strings in Classics usually. It is what it is, racing. Sometimes people are playing for second place with these pacemakers. You know, they're very rare that they do go past the winner if the first string is in contention. Right, we're going to move forward again now, and we're going to take a look at another race that took place in around a fortnight's time. We're going to take a first look at the German Classic process this season in the video, and we're going to take a look at the Group 1 German Derby for 3-year-old colts held over 1.5 miles, and the race is held at Hamburg. We had a good look before then. We had a few horses on our radar ahead of the German 2025 Classic trials. Only one horse at the moment, sadly, is deemed good enough to get on the Classic Watch 25 German trained prospects page. And that horse is arguably the best 2-year-old in Italy and Germany last season. Group 2 winner in Italy and Group 3 2-year-old winner in Germany. The highest a horse can go at that grade in 2-year-old races in Germany. The horse I'm talking about, of course, is the make-believe sired Lazio, trained by Valdemir Hickst. So before we take a look at the result, and we will see how Lazio got on in the race, we will watch the race first and see what we think.
All set, under orders, and away they go for the German Derby. And a really good break littered across the course. Delgado has gone prominently with the Sheriff, and Convergent takes a prominent pitch as well with Abando towards the outside. From the very wide draw, Named Lord is using up a bit of gas. Lady Charlotte has managed to get into the leading group with Abando as they come past the winning post for the first time. And on the outside, it's Named Lord who's gone to the front with Delgado on the inner. Convergent, Clifford Lee's got a nice pitch on that one. Lady Charlotte is just pulling too much on the outside. Pompeo Dream follows those. I think Christian de Muro will be happy with Zuckerhut on the inside, racing about 5th, being followed by Lazio on the inner. Then the white cap of Waldnebel towards the outer. Lady Charlotte's just been taken back a bit, as has the Sheriff. Then behind those, we have towards the inner Sedano, Path of Soldier on the outer of that one. And further back down the field, Hochkönig in about 3rd last position next to Enzian. And then racing right at the back is Amico, also Duxwell towards the rear.
So moving onto the far side, and it's Delgado, not setting a steaming pace, but wanting to test the stamina of the others, being followed by Name Lord in second, Pompeo Dream up on the outer. Zuckerhut travels strongly on the inside, as does Convergent. Lady Charlotte on the outer of those ones is now more relaxed in sixth position. Lazio follows seven. Just a shake of the reins for Waldnebel in midfield. The Sheriff and Abando towards the outside. Path of Soldier is behind those, racing in company with Sedano. Then towards the inner Hochkönig with plenty of horses to pass. Just being followed by Enzian as they now come down to the 800 and begin the turn back towards the home straight. And it's Delgado leading them in. Still just in front of Name Lord in second. Pompeo Dream running a big one on the outside. Zuckerhut still beautifully covered up on the inner. Convergent just follows that one. Lady Charlotte and Lazio are right in the mix on those. One who's pushed along at the back is Abando. Path of Soldiers trying to get into it. One's gone wrong there. That's the Sheriff down the home straight. And a couple of them lunge over towards the outside. One of those is Enzian. And Enzian down the outer is steaming home. Convergent on the inside. And it's Convergent who goes to the front. Enzian down the outer is chasing. Path of Soldiers running on. Here goes Hochkönig in the white and green. Is Convergent. Hochkönig is coming for Nina Baltromi. Convergent and Hochkönig. Convergent and Hochkönig in a photo. Has Nina Baltromi done it? It's hard to say. That is going to go to a photo. Convergent and Hochkönig in a photo. What an event that would be if Hochkönig's got up. I'm really not sure. Clifford Lee and Convergent, Nina Baltromi and Hochkönig. Has she done it? A female amateur rider in the German Derby. Well,
oh, scheiße.
We don't know yet. We don't know. Nobody seems to know.
A superb piece of ad-lib in German there towards the end of that video. You saw what that lady thought of her, whether the German amateur lady had managed to win the German Derby, didn't you? If you understood German there. Superb. That's the raw emotion of these horse racing classics. What a magnificent race. The first German classic, Group 1 classic of the season. Turned out to be absolute pleasure, really, to watch on the day. And she has done it. Frau Nina Baltrommel is a German classic winner, the jockey, as Hochkönig has won the German Derby. Hochkönig sired by Polish Volcano out of a dam called Halinara, who herself was sired by Callisto. The horse trained by Yasmin Almanrada and ridden by German female amateur Frau Nina Baltrommel. And the horse won by a short head, running to a Racing Post rating of 115 on the day, 5 behind the Irish Derby winner. Second place on the day was the English raider, Convergent, a horse sired by Fascinating Rock out of a dam called Monty's Miracle, who herself was sired by Shamadal. Convergent was trained by Carl Burke and ridden by Clifford Lee, and the horse ran to a Racing Post rating of 114. And in third place on the day, at 18.6 to 1, 186 to 10, was the Classic Watch 25 horse Lazio. Classic placed in third, a horse trained by Valdemir Hixt and ridden by Martin Seidel. Lazio sired by Make Believe out of a dam called La Caldera, who herself was sired by Hernando. Lazio beaten by 2 lengths on the day and running to a Racing Post rating of 110 for securing a classic placed effort. So again, decent value offered by the site and another placed effort, this time in the German Derby, courtesy of Lazio, a horse that has ran since, and again has ran with credit, really, it's fair to say, finishing third in another Group 1, this time against his elders, in the Grosser Dallmayr Prize, Bayerische Zuckrennen at Munich. The horse was actually third behind the UK Derby fifth, the side Bin Saror trained Tornado Alert. No Racing Post rating as of yet given to the run by Lazio on the day. I imagine that is because the race only took place yesterday, and at some point I think they will rate the race, and I do think that it will probably be a career best performance from Lazio, finishing third in that race. There was some decently rated 115, 116 elder horses in that race that Lazio did receive £7 from. But the horse ran with credit. The German St Leger, sadly, is not a Group 3. So whether Lazio will go for a French or UK St Leger remains to be seen. But this might be the last time we see Lazio in one of these Classic Watch 25 review videos. And the Stall Lucky owner owned colt has gone out with a classic place finished. And all credit to him for doing that, really. We're now going to switch to the last race of the video. We're going to leave the colts now and go back to the fillies. I think this race took place on around the 19th of July. We're heading back to the cover for the final race of the video, to take a look at the Irish Oaks. This, before the race, looked a fairly weak renewal, and I chose not to go opposing the favourite this time, Classic Watch 25 UK Oaks heroine Minnie Hawk. She was aiming to emulate her stablemate Lambourne by completing the UK and Irish middle distance classic double. Let's watch the race at the cover and then see how she got on, and then we will take a look at the result and see where the others go. Let's take a look at the race and see what we think.
Thereof, very level break to the fourth classic, the Group 1 Judgment Irish Oaks, over 1.5 miles as they sort themselves out. It is the long odds on favourite Minnie Hawk, taken on and headed by stable companion Island Hopping as they race the end of the first furlong and a half. Handy as We Might Take the Long Way, with a couple of lengths to Medley in the white cap. Bay Colony is next, 3 lengths to Butterfly Wings, and the back marker is Subsonic. Right across from the stands, 9.5 furlongs to go. The leader is Island Hopping and Wayne Lorden, stretching their lead to a couple of lengths. Taking up second is We Might Take the Long Way and Dylan Brown McMonigal. Shuffle back a place into third is Minnie Hawk and Ryan Moore, followed by Bay Colony and Shamie Heffernan edging the fourth from Medley and Declan McDonough with the final couple. Butterfly Wings, Ronan Whelan and Subsonic Ben Cohn. Coming inside the final mile, soon to make the climb up towards the top of the track. And pretty much in single file, it is Island Hopping who takes the Oaks field along from We Might Take the Long Way, and in third is Minnie Hawk, followed by Bay Colony and then Medley. Butterfly Wings last but one, and still trailing the field is Subsonic as they climb up towards the halfway stage. And the leader by 3 now is Island Hopping from We Might Take the Long Way, less than 2 lengths back to in third. The long odds on favourite Minnie Hawk. Disputing the fourth, Bay Colony and Medley, and then Butterfly Wings and Subsonic. 5 furlongs to go. They've passed the halfway stage. About to make the descent for the approach to the straight and the Judgment Irish Oaks. And the leader continues to be Island Hopping, but has a reduced advantage, however, over We Might Take the Long Way, who's now within 1.5 lengths. Another 1.5 lengths back to Minnie Hawk in third, and Bay Colony just fourth from Medley, and then comes Butterfly Wings and Subsonic. Turning their heads for home with 3 furlongs to go. Island Hopping nudged along in front, tracked in by We Might Take the Long Way and Minnie Hawk, now shaken up on the outside. Then Bay Connolly and Medley is next, followed by Butterfly Wings, and a couple of lengths then is Subsonic inside the 2. We Might Take the Long Way has taken on the inside. Island Hopping into a challenging position as Minnie Hawk is going to have to battle here, racing inside the final 150 yards. Minnie Hawk has picked it up, leads narrowly from We Might Take the Long Way up towards the finish. It is Minnie Hawk repeating Epsom and the Judgment Irish Oaks. Second is We Might Take the Long Way. Island Hopping in third, well clear of Butterfly Wings.
Well. I thought the UK Oaks heroine made quite heavy work of that, in my opinion. But Minnie Hawk has emulated her stablemate Lambourne by winning the UK Oaks and the Irish Oaks.
Result of the 5th race, the Judgment Irish Oaks, 5-7-3. Number 2 was 4.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Irish race announcer. A very interesting race, I think it was, really, because I was expecting Minnie Hawk to win Probably a lot easier than that. But she has done the job. The Classic Double, Classic Watch 25 victory, ending the video in the Juddmonte Irish Oaks. We'll take a look at the race now. First, the winner, Mini Hawk. The 2 to 11 favourite, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Ryan Moore. The horse sired by Frankel, out of a dam called Multilingual, who herself was sired by Dan Silly. And Mini Hawk on the day ran to a Racing Post rating of 116, only one better than the German Derby winner. Second place on the day, beaten a length and 3/4, classic placed We Might Take the Long Way. Sired by Australia, out of a dam called Don't Ask Me At All, who herself was sired by No Nay Never. The horse trained by Joseph Patrick O'Brien and ridden by Dylan Brown McMonigal. Racing Post rating on the day, 112. And third place on the day, beaten 3 3/4 lengths, was Island Hopping. 20 to 1 shot, sired by Wootton Bassett, out of a dam called Heaven of Heavens, who herself was sired by Galileo. Another one trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Wayne Lorden on the day, running to a Racing Post rating of 108. Like I said, no other classic contenders for the site. So before we end the video, we can just take a look at how that race combined, Mini Hawk. You see, she actually ran to 119 when winning the UK Oaks. Only 116 required to win the Irish version. I think she's lucky to get that. You know, that was a very average performance against quite an average field, I thought. But yeah, she won well. Compare that to World, though, who went on to beat the Elders, Kalpana, who's now favourite for the Art. You know, well beat her comfortably. Well, she beat her in the Pretty Polly. Plenty of entries left for Mini Hawk. We'll take a look at them now. The 20th of August, the horse is in the Juddmonte International Stakes. I'll be very surprised if she runs there. Thursday, the 21st of August, a much more realistic ambition, really, against her Elders for the first time, maybe, in the Yorkshire Oaks. And then the horse is entered in the Irish Champion Stakes, over 1 mile 2 on the 13th of September. And she is another one entered in the Irish St Leger on the 14th of September 2025. So she is another one that might figure again in one of these review videos. This is the second that she has been in, Mini Hawk. So far, she is a dual classic winner. Will Connections let her take on the Colts at some point in a Leger, or maybe even a better race like that than that, such as the Arc de Triomphe? Time will tell. But for now, I think I am in a position to end this video after taking a look at these three classics. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me and watch this video. As always, it has been very much appreciated by myself. What we've got coming up this week is actually Classic Week this week. The German Oaks takes place next Sunday, the 3rd of August. I think it is a Sunday. Anyway. Yes, the 3rd of August is Classic Day, German Oaks Day. And to lead us up to that this week, it is a Glorious Goodwood in the UK and the Galway Festival in Ireland. What I will do at the end of this video is I'll leave you all a copy of the Classic Watch 25 playlist, so you can all take a look at that and watch the reviews of the horses and the site coming together. As you, if you would wish to, the playlist will appear. And I will also give you all, I will also give everybody an opportunity who has chosen to watch this video without being subscribed to the channel. I will give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel as well. That way you will not miss any more content moving forward. But now, like I said, I think I will leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch it. Very interesting racing coming up at the weekend with another classic, the German Oaks at Hamburg. I think it's at Hamburg. I'm not entirely sure. As it stands at the minute, there's no Classic Watch 25 horses on the German trained website that are eligible to run in the Oaks. So maybe somebody will need to pull their finger out at some point this week and find some horses. But that's all for later on in the week. I will say goodbye now. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and have a fantastic upcoming week. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. And hopefully we will see you back soon for another video. Take care and goodbye.